Hello everyone out there. We're going to give it a few minutes here to bring everybody in. I think I'm starting a little early. As you come in and join us, feel free to go ahead and let us know where you're coming from. If you have any questions, you can start going ahead and asking questions that you might see. I hope everyone is safe and doing well out there in Facebook world. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Just waiting for a couple more people to join in and we'll get started. The clock that I keep looking at, I'm checking the time on, that's going to chime at noon. That is a Potts piece. It was owned by John Jr., who was one of the 13 children that John and Ruth had. This clock was made by Edward Duffield out of Philadelphia. Sometime in the 1760s, later 1760s, we believe. So we're just waiting for that to begin chiming at noon, and we'll get started. Hello, everybody out there, and welcome. Hopefully the weather, if you're not local, is a little bit better where you are. Maybe it's seasonal and you have some snow. Today it's a bit chilly. I believe we're having a light rain just starting now. So any time here, this clock is going to get ready to chime and we'll get going. So for those of you who are watching, this will be a series. We'll be live every Friday. Kendra, who is our museum assistant, will be with you next Friday, and then I will be with you again the following Friday. You're going to see aspects of a tour that's focused on the holiday season or the time of the year for the Potts family, based off of how our tour is being currently run. We are open to the public right now. Reservations for tours can be made at pottsgrovemanor.eventbrite.com, and they must be made 24 hours in advance during this time. So we are open right now for tours. So if you see anything you'd like to see today, feel free to stop on by for the next little bit. And there's the clock. Well, good afternoon. My name is Neil Hobbins. I am the Historic Site Supervisor here at Pottsgrove Manor. I would like to welcome you all into our house today as we take you through the next 3 weeks on this journey of the historic house and how it would have been decorated for the holiday season for the Potts family. Pottsgrove Manor is located in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. We are a part of the County of Montgomery and their Division of Parks, Trails, and Historic Sites. Pottsgrove Manor was owned by wealthy ironmaster John Potts, as well as Ruth Potts, his wife, lived here, their 13 children, and the numerous servants and enslaved persons that also lived and worked here to help support the Potts family and their businesses and their lifestyle. As we go throughout the house over the next 3 weeks, these are going to be just very short videos taking you on the different aspects of our house tour. I know that for many of you who might be sitting and watching right now, a trip to Pottsgrove Manor at this time of the year is something of a tradition for many of you, whether it was coming for our 12th night tour or even for a colonial candlelight. That was a way for you to celebrate the holidays. Unfortunately, our candlelight is not able to happen this year. Like I did say, we still are open for daily tours. You can book a tour at pottsgrovemanor.eventbrite.com at least 24 hours in advance to come and tour the house. You will not be able to see everything, but we are open for a good portion of the household, as you'll see over the next 3 weeks. The home was built by John Potts. He purchased the property here sometime right around 1750, and the family began to move here beginning in the summer of 1752. The house here was lived by the Potts until John's death in 1768, and that's when it begins to kind of transition, but the Potts family will own it until 1783. As we go through the house today, we're going to talk about Twelfth Night and the Twelfth Night and holiday traditions that you're going to see throughout the house. Now, for an English household like the Potts family, as well as kind of the wealth that they had, Twelfth Night was really the major holiday celebration. Christmas would be observed by an English family, but it wasn't celebrated in the way that we look to celebrate it in the Christian faith today. For Quakers in Pennsylvania, Christmas Day was usually just another day. You might have a Quaker market being open on Christmas Day. So for some of you at home, as you're getting ready to make your Christmas meal and you realize you forgot something at the grocery store, in the 18th century you may have been able to run out and pick that up before to finish off your meal for that evening. So when we talk about Twelfth Night is the 12th day of Christmas. And for some of us, we might know what that is. But when we talk about the 12th day of Christmas, it is following Christmas. So the 12th day of Christmas will be January 6th in the calendar. It's referred to as the Epiphany. So it's January 6th is really what we're talking about. And as we go through the house, we're going to look at not only 12th night, but also Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's traditions. So we're looking at what we would call as the Christmas tide season here at the Potts family household. And before we get into the rest of the house in the next 2 weeks, we're going to start off in the front parlor while the servants and enslaved persons of the household are busily preparing the house for the Christmas tide and 12th night season. So I'm going to go ahead and move you into the next room. I'll show you the room and kind of pan around it a little bit. I'll put it back down and tell you what you're looking at. So welcome to the front parlor of the household here. This is the current scene we have. I'm going to place you down here. And then turn back around. So to orient you, if you have been here before, the High Street is just out to the front of the house here. That's the windows that you see and the light that you see coming in here. King Street is to my left right now, but that's towards the north of the household. The front parlor here, we seem to think was the more formal parlor for the family. But what you're seeing right now is the preparations that are beginning for the Christmas tide holiday season, 12th night season here at Pottsgrove Manor. For the two mannequins that are in this room here, this would be an extremely busy season for them. Their jobs were busy throughout the entire year upkeeping the manor house. And now we have an enslaved woman here, as well as a servant man here, preparing the house. And their lives are going to be extremely busy. And during this holiday season, the busyness just kind of amps up a little bit. Even though they will see certain portions of the holiday season as time off that will be given to them. Particularly Boxing Day, which you'll hear about later on in the next couple weeks. What we're seeing is, and what we know, is that this time of the year was kind of overindulgence to a point. Not much different than some of us might do today, where we constantly are making cookies and sweets, cakes, as well as bringing in kind of special foods that might be a tradition in our household, a tradition in our faith, or a tradition in our ethnicity. And it was the same way in the 18th century for them also. When we look at the ledgers, we see a lot of sweets being brought in with sugar. We see an increase in citrus coming in from the time, as well as alcohol that's coming into the household. We see increased purchases of sides of meat. We see increased purchases of things to show that the holiday season is going to be a time for celebration and a time for kind of that little bit more of overindulgence in this wealthy 18th century English household. During the holiday season, you might see weddings happen. In fact, we do have a Potts daughter who was married here in the front parlor in December of 1768. So there is a lot of different celebrations happening beyond just 12th night during this time. One of the big differences you might see is that it's kind of decorated pretty plain. Decorations, as far as we would think today for the Christmas season, the holiday season, did not really happen in the 18th century. And to be really, really transparent, we probably over-decorate to a point here at Pottsgrove Manor for the holiday season. But what's really going to be coming from the decoration is what's fresh from the outside that come into the household here. Things like different holly, different pine that's going to be put up. And if you can tell in the window, it's hard to see with the light coming in. I'll kind of try to turn you here and show you on this window. We've actually used holly as a decoration on the window here. And I also often get kind of asked on a lot of my tours why the missed decoration of holly in that location there. And that's because just like holiday parties that you might throw today, if you forget to turn your heat down before all your guests arrive, your house gets pretty warm. The same thing happened in the 18th century. This allowed them to be able to still open the windows and cool off the room if they needed to. So that's what you're seeing here. We're preparing for the holiday season. There's lots of purchasing going on. The servants and enslaved persons of the household are busily preparing the house to receive guests for these different celebrations like weddings, like 12th night parties that are going to be happening. But business is still also going to be usual for John Potts and his empire that he has created. We know that by looking at the ledger books that John worked throughout the month of December. He did not take much time off. And what's really interesting is John Potts had horrible handwriting. So we know his handwriting really, really well. And when you look at the different forge books that we have in our collection, as well as other collections, you can actually see where John is giving his clerks some days off during the holiday season. Usually it was right around Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or Boxing Day, which is December 26th, the day following Christmas. So we see that John is still working, including on Christmas Eve, and bringing in things and recording them in the ledgers. So much like today, they were still working through this time. This time was still production time for John and the Iron Empire that he had created. I want to thank you all so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them into the comments. I'll take some time following this to go ahead and answer any questions you might have, if I am able to. Thank you all so much. Please be safe during this time. Once again, we are open for tours. If you would like to come by, please visit pottsgrovemanor.eventbrite.com and schedule that tour at least 24 hours in advance. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, and we'll see you here next Friday for our next live portion of our tour, where we'll focus on the second floor family side with Kendra, as well as every Wednesday throughout December, and concluding on January 6th on 12th night, we will have pre-recorded videos that will be up on our website as well as our Facebook page. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Bye.